Good morning, sweet world, and welcome to the No Dunks podcast presented by FanDuel. It's Saturday, May 16th, 2026. I'm J.E. Skeets here in the Classic Factory, and alongside me, putting in the weekend shift, it's Tas Mellis.
Podcast listeners, this is for you.
And over yonder, making the magic happen, super producer JD.
Hello.
There he is. Here we are. Hello to everybody on YouTube here on a Saturday. Hit the like button, subscribe. Podcast listeners, 5-star ratings and reviews. We're going to be in and out here today. We got 2 games to talk about.
You think it's going to be quick?
No, it never is.
Well, you know, it could be.
It won't be. Don't do that. Don't say that. Don't pretend it'll be quick.
Well, we'll see. What's your definition of quick?
We won't see.
What's your definition of quick?
Quick would be less than 30-minute podcast.
Oh, that's too fast.
Not even
less than
close.
45, I thought was
Not a chance.
possible. No? Okay.
Not when we do this. Yeah, we are pumped, so let's do it. Hit the Zaza.
We're going to Game 7, baby. Game 7. Game 7.
That clip never
Still good.
disappoints.
Still good.
God, it really is good. Yeah, the top-seeded Detroit Pistons dominated the second half on Friday night. They beat the Cavs 115-94 to force a Game 7 in the Eastern Conference second-round series. The decisive game is on Sunday night in Detroit, 8 p.m. Eastern. So we got one Game 7 this weekend. Now, we love this here at No Dunks. How this one broke down. We get a Game 7, and we don't have a series, a conference final starting over the weekend. You know, we don't love that.
Yeah, I
Want
hear
it to
you.
start during the week so we can hype it up and make our predictions and all that.
Yeah, I hear you. But you also picked the Wolves to win in 7.
I did.
If the Wolves took care of Game 6, we would have had 2 Game 7s on Sunday. So you're disappointed in that?
Can't be too greedy, though.
Okay.
We got
All right.
one. We got one.
We got one.
We'll get to the Spurs waxing Minnesota in Game 6 and maybe where the Wolves go from here. But yeah, let's start with that Pistons win. This was just a strong collective effort, I thought, from Detroit. I
Yeah.
mean, we can go through a million guys on this team. They all showed up on the road, handing the Cavs their first loss at home in the postseason.
Yeah, coming into the playoffs, the conversation about the Pistons was, who's going to help Cade?
Yeah.
Who's going to be that second guy? You can argue in Game 6 against the Cavs, they had the best first guy, second guy, third guy, fourth guy, fifth guy. I'm exaggerating, but still.
Pretty close.
Yeah, exactly. And they definitely had the best coaching maneuvers from their coach. That was phenomenal. In a game where the Cavs offense wasn't really clicking, I thought the guy who stood out most for the Pistons was Asar Thompson. Just that energy level, everything he was bringing defensively. The two-handed block,
Oh my God.
easily the play of the night. I thought
That was sick.
it was
The
pretty amazing.
volleyball-like block. Yeah, that was huge.
That was a smasher. But everything that JB was pushing, those buttons, Duncan Robinson coming off the bench, was it because his back was a little bit injured? Either way, he had Sam Merrill guarding him, and he's felt so comfortable shooting against Sam Merrill. 4 big threes for Duncan Robinson. Marcus Sasser
Oh.
played some big minutes. That's a guy's name we definitely didn't say coming into the series. But the fact that JB Bickerstaff is able to pluck him and say guys like Ron Holland, you sit. Javonte Green, you sit. Isaiah Stewart only played 4 minutes in this game for Paul Reed, who was so phenomenal. He was pushing all the right buttons, period. And Jalen Duren, I just want to mention that guy. He was playing fourth quarter minutes. How many times did he spin on Jared Allen? I went back and watched every spin. This guy had moves. It was 15 points, but it was the loudest 15 points he's had in the playoffs. I thought, definitely in this particular series, he was so good. I thought one of his misses where he pulled a Smitty. The guy tried to pull a Smitty and slow down, and it was a nice miss there. Wade on the broadcast, Dwayne Wade said, "They remember what you did today, not what you did yesterday," referring to Jalen Duren.
Said it twice.
Yeah,
He went back to it.
And that also applies to what I said coming into this game, where I was totally wrong. I thought Game 5 would roll into Game 6 because the Cavs gave away or stole Game 5 from the Pistons. The Pistons gave it away. I thought that would roll in. Didn't matter. Pistons showed up to take this one.
I definitely thought of you when Jalen Duren more than once had a move where he actually attacked a Cavaliers big and dribbled and spun. And yeah, he missed a couple, but then also scored.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 15 points, 11 boards for Duren. He was active. He was contributing. He was hitting the glass early in this game. How many offensive rebounds did the Pistons have in the first couple minutes?
Yeah.
And turning the Cavs over. And then Duren even blocked a couple shots. He blocked a Mitchell shot. He blocked a Harden floater. And I was going, I was trying to remember blocks he had even had in this series that were notable or like big plays. He just hadn't done anything through 5 games. This was huge. He was feeling so good at one point. He hit a left-handed layup after he sort of bobbled the ball and it went back to him and he scored. And then he was like wagging his tongue back to his teammates on the way back. He was feeling a little bit more like regular season Jalen Duren, who in theory is going to be making an all-NBA team here and who was an all-star. And even when the ankle injury took him out, he came back and still was contributing. So that was huge. In addition to whenever he's off the floor, and you said it, Tas, it was B-ball Paul. And this guy, another great game, 17 points, playoff career high, 6 boards. And his just performance this entire playoffs really is why they're still playing here and have a chance to win in Game 7.
Yeah. I said Sar Thompson, the two-handed block, probably the play of the night for me, but another play that everyone is looking to is Paul Reed jumping out of bounds to save the ball.
Yep.
And then Duncan Robinson having to save it from the sideline. It went from baseline save to sideline save to pull it in for them to score.
On a ledgy, basically.
Yeah.
That was
And
the
then
Paul
finish.
Reed and one, which was like ledgy-esque, where that thing just
That was pretty cool.
sat on the back rim for a second. I mean, everybody got excited. It's like, is it going to drop? Is it going to stay there? And then it fell in, of course. And
Yeah,
the N1.
Yeah.
That was a huge play.
It was a huge play.
Sort of like, it sort of summed up the game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
For the Pistons.
Somebody said was it Wade called it a microcosm of the Pistons season, where they got better in this game as it went along. Is sort of the same for the series against the Orlando Magic. They were down 3-1. Jalen Duren specifically had his best game in Game 7 of that series, and here they are. They're showing their toughness as the series goes along, and obviously all the momentum with them as they go home. They didn't even need a great Cade Cunningham game at all. He was subpar.
Good. He was solid.
Yeah, hit threes.
He hit threes. That was huge.
Yeah,
and made the right plays a lot of the times. I mean, especially when you compare it to Donovan Mitchell and really struggling in this game. I know we'll unpack his game here, but that was a bad Mitchell performance. That's really 2 bad games in a row. And, I mean, we're going back to Game 5. We keep doing it, but it's like Pistons could have won this series if they didn't blow that game in Game 5. But man, he was really bottled up, and he was just trying to do his floater, which he can hit. We've seen him hit a million of these, but that thing was not dropping. Instead of maybe taking it a little bit more physically and maybe trying to get to the line, he just couldn't hit a shot. I mean, how many shots did he miss from 2, let alone the 3 ball not really dropping for him? But I just compare that to Cade's just sort of leadership of the game, even if it wasn't a big scoring game.
Right. And too many plays for Mitchell. You could look at the effort level on both ends for me. Like, he was guarding Marcus Sasser. Marcus Sasser loses the ball. You can close that gap real quick, but Sasser recovers it and scores. Or Karis LeVert coming down the floor and allowed to just shoot an open 3 because Mitchell just doesn't close out on him whatsoever, and then exposing the ball on the dribble so Cade Cunningham can just poke that thing. A few turnovers for Mitchell, so not looking right, period.
Is he hurt?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Is he injured? Because it is weird to try and explain what's going on here over this last couple of games.
Yeah,
because he seems in a funk and out of it.
Definitely. My note was, what up with Mitchell?
Yeah.
Is there something wrong after that incredible 40-point performance in Game 4, and then literally 14 points through 4 quarters of Game 5, and then turned it on in overtime? So did he just turn it on just because he could, or needed to, I should say, not could, but needed to in overtime? It's a fair question to ask that, but he is out there and he does make spectacular plays at times too. Like the step back 3 was pretty. He is into. I don't think he's hurt. Is it just an overall I'm kind of gassed thing? Maybe that's it.
Yeah, he's had to go against 2 teams that have the personnel in the Raptors and now the Pistons to at least slow scorers, right? These lengthy, explosive, just freaks on defense that he's had to see a lot of these guys.
And that's
it's just bad. I don't love like the trend with him is if he's not scoring, I mean, he's not even playmaking. Like it's like 3 assists to 3 turnovers last night. That's like an alarming trend we've seen all postseason. He does not have a lot of assists here. No. Like it's like half of what he had in the regular season. And I know the guy has to hit a shot. He's got to score when you pass it to a guy, but it's like if he's not scoring, he's not really contributing much else in terms of playmaking and leading from that part. No, I get it. It's in Harden's hands and he's taking over at times, but it's just strange. He's just in like this fog, it feels like.
Yeah, the last couple of games kind of hanging in the corner, and then when he does get the ball, it looks like he's shooting, and he's shooting for sure. And whether it goes in, that's a question mark. But as Harden said after game number 5, when they were able to close that 9-0 deficit in the last few minutes, hey, he was tired. Mitchell's tired. Did you see what he had to do in game 4? And so maybe that's it. Maybe it is just all sort of added up. It's possible. The Raptors did tire the dude out, and the Pistons have been after him. And this is, in theory, the longest he's ever played in an NBA season now, going into a game 7 of a second round, because he's never made a conference final. So, it's not a real accurate evaluation of Mitchell's career, but yeah, he could just be guessed, because the body looks fine. That whole cameraman thing that he kind of hit his foot against, but he didn't hit his foot against, I don't think that's an issue.
Okay from
yeah,
that.
he seems fine.
The Pistons were up 54-51 at halftime, and I was watching this going, well, we're going to find out here in the third quarter whether this is going to be a wrap for them, like we saw in game 5. They gave up the huge run there to the Cavaliers, but they had the run this time. They started the second half with that 12-2 run in the third. They splashed a couple threes. Tobias Harris finally found the scoring column early in the third. Asar had a putback dunk. And so that was great. Now the Cavs rallied. They got it to within 6. And then the Pistons had another 13-2 run in them. And that's within that run, I believe, was that crazy Paul Reed play where they did a million saves to then score. So they just had an answer there, even when the Cavs got back into the game. Because it felt like, ooh, is this going to be an exact replication of game 5 here, where it's like, oh, Detroit feels like they are completely outplaying them. And then you look at the scoreboard, you look at the diff. The diff's only 3 at half, right? Like I was like, they have outplayed them. They're up by 1 possession.
Right.
But they had an answer in the third.
But the Cavs did have to fight back in the second quarter, I should say, and to close that diff. And
just like game 5, though.
Yeah, just like game 5.
At the end of the half.
I didn't check how many leads the Pistons had in this game, but it felt like the Cavs just kept digging this big hole over and over and having to fight back and then having to fight back and then having to fight back, more so than they did in game 4 or 5, where they needed that 32-20 third quarter run.
Right.
So it just felt like the effort level, unfortunately, it's sort of simple as that. There's too many of those plays. There's way too many. I know.
Yeah, 13 offensive rebounds into 20 points for Detroit, and then 20 turnovers for the Cavs too. And that's a number we keep coming back to.
Yeah.
Of like that 20 turnover number. It's like, I mean, it resulted in 28 Detroit points.
Yeah.
You're up against it.
And even turnovers aside, just watching the game effort level. Like when Evan Mobley is in a jump ball situation and he wins the thing. I mean, he wins it in that he knocks it back because he's he's jumping against Tobias Harris. He's way taller than him.
Yeah, of course.
And
he should win that.
And then James Harden literally just watches it hit the floor and not go get it. And so they lose the ball. It's stuff like that over and over. The 50-50 balls. I mean, Jalen Duren had a drive. This is a center we're talking about. This is a monstrous man. He shouldn't be able to drive through guys so easily. He just drove through Strus and Harden that created the Hormuz Strait for him. Shout out to Trey Kirby, who used the Hormuz Strait reference once. But that was way too easy. And maybe they miscommunicated. But still, there's just way too much of that. Way too easy. Just overall, numbers aside, just what up with that? They weren't ready.
It's like the Cavs were taking on the impression that we had after game 5.
No
after
doubt.
they stole it, or Detroit gave it away, and obviously took care of business in overtime. It's like, well, that's the season. We got them.
Yep.
And Detroit did not approach the game this way, especially like early on, just grabbing every offensive rebound. There was a lot of long offensive rebounds. So it was like a collective effort. Like they were, it's like you never know with an offensive rebound, right? Like where it's going to drop, but there was a lot of long ones off of missed shots, a lot of clanks, and they were the ones getting to it. They were just a little quicker, and they were fighting to stay alive, just like they did in Orlando. So yeah, kudos to the team and to Bickerstaff for having these guys at least believing they could do it again and get it back to Little Caesars Arena. 'Cause it was impressive.
That first quarter was really, really impressive.
Yeah.
This Cavs fan base, the arena, wanted to erupt, and they hadn't no ability, no capability of doing it. There's nothing for them to erupt to. So yeah, the Pistons go in to game 6 like they did in round 1 and were able to take the game in the first quarter, at least start it. And they kept rolling. It is phenomenal.
Every guy that came in kept the momentum
phenomenal.
going. That was the big thing. There was no drop off. Even like you said, the Sasser moments there at the end of the third, in the fourth, that's when Cade was getting a rest.
Yeah.
And he was contributing and delivering. So big stuff there. The only thing from the Pistons that was driving me insane, and I did say on yesterday's show. I wanted the Pistons to win this game. I wanted a game 7, at least one. Was their inability, the Pistons' inability to run a fast break. Can they practice this? Like, this is what we do with like our 9-year-old and 10-year-old kids at the YMCA. Run a 2-on-1 fast break. They botched like 4 of them. 3 in the first half, 1 in the second, by my count. Twice, they tried throwing alley-oops. And it was like they could have just made the simple play. Make the pass. I hate to sound like an old dodgy fart, but like, what are you doing? They botched the alley-oops. They were bad passes and they blew them. And then there was a couple where Tobias Harris chucked one way too far ahead of Jenkins. And then there was one in the second half. Karis LeVert. It was a 2-on-1. They should have scored or at least get to the free throw line. He threw it away to Asar Thompson. I was like pulling my hair out. I'm like, well, you guys are just doing it to yourself again here. You just have showed me 8 points you just took off the board. They should have scored every one of those, but didn't matter in the end. They hit threes. They were hitting the glass, and they were turning the Cavs over. So even though they had some turnovers, they were turning Cleveland over.
I know you don't want to be an old dodgy fart, but maybe their rule should be on fast breaks only chest-to-chest passes or bounce passes. No alley-oops.
I mean, Jesus.
Simple as that. Like Dwayne Casey, I think, old Dwayne, he can be their dodgy fart. He is, I think, some sort of form of advisor for them because you see him at Pistons games. He's there sitting with Ben Wallace and Rip Hamilton and Isaiah Thomas. He can be your old dodgy fart, or, use Zeke, I guess, to just tell him,
come on,
no alley-oops.
Well,
no
especially on the road.
Yeah.
You don't need to throw an alley-oop on the road. What's the risk? Why risk it? At home, I sort of get it. You can get a place going insane off a huge play like that. You get your fan base going nuts.
On the road,
it's saying nothing's going to change.
That's a good point.
It's 2 points. They're going to be quiet. So, yeah, they blew a couple fast breaks, but otherwise, I mean, that was my only issue with how the Pistons played in Game 6.
Right.
I can't find any other fault otherwise.
Yeah, totally.
Everybody. And Duncan being back was big. And he's got good chemistry with Paul Reed. I like the way the two of them play together out there. Obviously, the gravity and just Paul Reed being a maniac everywhere, B-ball Paul. So Reed's defense got overlooked a little bit in this game because that was a big part of the third quarter when they then built the lead and extended to like 14 at the end of the third.
You think Daryl Morey was watching this game, seeing Paul Reed say, "Oh no,
another one we let get away"?
I could have had him.
Maybe
instead we signed like a guy like PJ Tucker. No disrespect to retired PJ Tucker, but he liked the old guys instead of some of these young guys.
It's true.
Speaking of old guys, let's talk about James Harden a little bit.
Sure.
Because to see that stat come up during the broadcast, his stats in closeout games.
Oh, yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
That was rough. He's now 2-5 in closeout games. Coming into this game, he was 13 points per game on 28% from the floor. So you hit a quarter of your shots in closeout games and then a fifth of your threes. That being said, this was a way better game. I mean, he was their guy.
Didn't love the 8 turnovers again.
No, they're not turnovers. Scoring wise, he would boost those numbers.
We're only saying this was a good Harden game because we're comparing it to Mitchell.
Yeah.
Those guys have a lot of pressure on them here, of course, in a Game 7.
Oh, gosh.
They both need to come through. At the very least, one of them does.
Yeah.
Because, my God, if they both have sort of games like they just had in Game 6 at home, I mean, it's like we're just going to do it all over again. But, people keep getting fooled that they're going to somehow get over the hump, especially, I guess, Harden. But he's been okay. I mean, and Harden's been better than Mitchell in this series. He has.
Yes.
Yeah. So they really need to have a good Game 7. Even if it came in a loss, for crying out loud, they can't be the reason why.
No.
Those two dudes who are obviously trying to get over basically a conference finals. Mitchell's never even been there.
Mitchell's never been there. That's the big hurdle here, trying to get through a big Game 7 on the road, where I thought, while we worked for the Stars, I thought a big stat board, or a great stat board that we had, was James Harden as series goes on, starts to get weaker and weaker and weaker. But this closeout stat board, phenomenal.
Good stuff.
That was really good stuff. We shall see what Mitchell can do.
And not
overall,
surprising, though. You knew this.
What, Harden?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harden shits the bed in elimination games. Maybe you just didn't. You had to see the numbers. They are shockingly low for one of the greatest scorers of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you said, in this series, Harden has been their best player and has been really good. When they've won, he has been really good. But here we are.
Mm-hmm. Here we are.
One more time.
All right. Well, let's get into some random notes from Game 6. Let's start with this one. I want to get your opinion on the play early in the second quarter, I guess it was. Asar Thompson shoved Sam Merrill to the ground, then he stepped over him, and they went and looked at it, and after the video replay, officials said, Zach Zarba, after fixing his hair, dapping off the sweat. Guy loves to look good on camera. He said Thompson's left arm extended to Merrill's head and neck area, and there was follow-through, so that is why Thompson was assessed with a flagrant 1 foul. Though they were showing it in Cleveland on the big screen or on the Jumbotron, and people were going, oh, no, that was way more severe. He should have been tossed. You thought what?
Accurate. I thought.
I'm with you.
You can't toss him for that. But flagrant 1. Head area? Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe didn't do himself any favors stepping over him too.
Right.
Yeah, maybe. But I'm with you. Flagrant 1 was as far as I could have gone with something like that on a, it's a pick play, right? It's a pick play, and yeah, Thompson's trying to power through it. Merrill's trying to hold him, and then he goes high to push him off. But yeah, I'm with you. Not getting tossed in that situation. Though he got tossed eventually because he fouled out.
Right at the end.
But yeah.
What an effort, though, by that guy.
Exactly. To really set the tone.
Yeah.
What else? Dwayne Wade saying he was a 40% three-point shooter
in the playoffs.
I was like, no, you weren't. I was so confused when he said that.
Did you check the stats?
Yeah, I checked. Of course I did.
He was wrong?
Yeah.
Oh.
Now it's interesting. Dwayne Wade shot 34% in his entire postseason career. Played a lot of playoff games.
Yeah.
That is better than his regular season numbers. So I think maybe that's the point he was making right here. He was better from 3 when the games were more important. I mean, he was a really bad 3-point shooter in his career. He's sub 30%.
Yeah,
pretty crazy.
When we get to Stephon Castle, that's very similar in that he picks it up in the postseason.
Well, yes, oh my God.
Versus the regular season 3-point shooting. But where did Wade get that number? I don't think he's a guy who just creates numbers.
He had one series where he shot 40%.
Okay, that
he had one
been
7-game series.
Could be it.
Maybe. But anyway, he shot 34% in the postseason from 3. And again, 29% from 3 in the regular season. But I wanted to see, well, what about Dean Wade? What about the other Wade? Why we're talking about this. He's shooting 31% from 3 in his career in the playoffs. That is down from his regular season.
Way down.
Yeah, well, not as way down as you think.
Huh.
Yeah, I thought he was a better 3-point shooter than he is. I think he's like a 36 maybe career 3-point shooter.
Yeah, I thought it was better than that.
I guess that was D Wade on the call's point, This D Wade stepped up his game in the postseason from 3 at least and across the board.
Yeah.
Anyway, but the 40%, I was like so confused. I was like, I do not remember Dwayne Wade shooting 40% from 3. My God, he was already amazing. Imagine he had a 40% 3 ball. No, that wouldn't be fair. Point. Yeah. What else you got?
Well, the Wade that was playing, Dean Wade, slipped on James Harden's sweat. Big sweat spot. You don't see that too often where James Harden fell to the floor, play happens, and they don't go and clean the sweat.
Did they miss it entirely? Or was it just poor cleaning? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either, but it was a big spot.
Yeah.
It was a Harden-sized spot on the floor, and Wade, that was like after a dead ball where they just didn't clean it or whatever happened. But that's rare, I would say.
Very rare, very rare. Maybe it's like he landed in a weird spot, like it was out past the 3-point line, right?
Yeah.
But that was like a dagger play to me. That was like the game ended on the Wade slip. And then was it Tobias Harris that had the fast break dunk or whatever score?
Yeah, I think so.
Right. Like to me, that was like I wrote in my notes like, well, the weird Wade slip dagger here for the Pistons. Felt like I don't think they're coming back after that.
Yeah.
But he was okay, I guess.
Yeah, but there are broadcasters were all saying, "Oh, is he all right?" Because he slowly got
a fall.
Yeah, he slowly got up. It looked like, Harden's sweat may have injured him.
A couple broadcast notes for me. We got to stop interviewing Asar Thompson.
Just because he's quick on the mic.
He says next to nothing, and he says it in like 4 words. Yeah, he does not want to do it. But we've had him like a couple times now through the postseason where he's getting like a mid-game interview. We can stop. Get somebody else. Anybody else.
I think overall players are just being real quick on the mic.
Yeah, I mean I get that.
More so than ever. Just bop, I'm done. Really
quick though. So there's that. And then I wanted to get your opinion. JD, I don't know if you saw any of these games last night, but we had a couple walk and talks. Do you guys have opinions on the walk and talks? These are pregame. We had Christina Pink with Max Strus in a hallway walk and talk. And then later we had Cassidy Hubbarth with Keldon Johnson in his cowboy hat in more of a concourse walk and talk. I think it even maybe went outside a little bit. What do you think of these? Like they're just doing the interview, the pregame interview, but they're doing a slow walk and talk.
I like them.
Okay. Okay.
They're fun. Yeah. I think both times the reporter isn't looking at a notebook, which I like.
Yeah. Fair.
It feels more conversational.
Sure. But you know what they are looking at, unfortunately, at least in Christina Pink's situation? They're looking at where they're stepping.
Oh, yeah, that is the
She
big
seemed
question.
Concerned, and I would be too. And there's like people going
walking?
by them. And yeah, it's like you sort of got to make note of where you are.
But I think there's somebody protecting the camera person. There should be.
Oh, of course.
Well,
yeah, the
definitely.
camera person, there's somebody behind.
Yeah.
But even her walking and even the play, it's like, first off, it's a hilarious walk because you're moving at a glacial pace.
But what is she looking at? What is she
I
worried
think
about?
just her steps. I'm sure she has heels. I mean, I don't know, but probably has heels on.
Yeah.
There's cables everywhere or whatever. Or just like.
Well, that's what I'm saying is that the camera person's walking in the right spot to get into the weeds.
I'm saying other cables. I'm not saying from the camera.
No, I know,
that's
but the
recorded
camera
them.
person's walking.
Yeah.
It's clear. But hey, I don't wear heels, so maybe that could be an issue.
Yeah.
That could be an issue. But
Anyway.
Yeah. There's also, you have one shot at this, right? When you're interviewing a player. So there's that. So
Probably,
it just
yeah.
adds to what the interviewer has to think about, right?
Yes.
Which-
what is it adding? It's just like movement. That's it, right?
Yeah. It's more cinematic.
Yeah.
It gives you another view of the bowels of
Right.
if they're in there or whatever.
Instead of standing against a brick wall.
Yeah, as a director, I
Sure.
would much prefer a fucking walk and talk.
Yeah, I guess.
Absolutely. But, if as a host, this is my nightmare because what if I fall? Especially
Yeah.
as you say, Skeets, she's probably wearing heels, and they're looking out for the camera person because they're walking backwards, but there is no thought given to the host.
No,
I don't
no,
think.
no.
there's nothing to worry about. They're not going to roll it in if she falls. They just won't use it because
yeah,
it's
you're right.
pre-recorded.
It probably was pre-recorded,
Number
you're right.
two, yeah, it's definitely pre-recorded.
Yeah.
Number two, if they do roll it in and you fell down, people will talk about
You're going
it.
viral.
Okay, well, it's not a good thing.
Nobody
They just
wants
won't
to
roll
be
it in.
falling
No,
down. They become a meme.
they won't roll it in. But I do.
Yeah, but the people, it will get leaked. It'll get out there.
Can't trust the truck, is what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Wow.
Wow, that
Yeah,
would be
man.
tough.
You're
That would
probably
be
right.
I
tough.
mean, it's not just the truck; it's master control. It's whoever. Like, there's a lot of eyeballs on this stuff.
So
when
look
it's
what just
being-
happened with the Summer House reunion, man.
I'm not,
Audio
not
leaks.
familiar.
Andy was pissed.
Oh, yeah.
Pissed. Yeah.
I would not want to be on the wrong side of Andy Cohen.
No, definitely not. Okay, anyway, I just wanted to get your opinion on it. If people saw it, the walk and
It
talk.
feels like you're with them.
Yeah.
I know.
I know.
We've
I disagree, but it's probably just because I'm jaded and I've watched way too much
Yeah.
sports television and I've even worked in it a little bit. So
yeah, but you're right in that the words, the conversation don't change. Nothing's changing.
No.
I think it's
No.
just more they're walking. So to me, it's like that's something different.
Yeah,
if you can pull it
hey,
off,
that's what they're trying.
We've been in many studios of production where they want you standing. They want people standing
That's
to
true.
change it up, right?
Yeah, because I mean, they would always say it's like people flipping through channels. But by the way, nobody does that anymore. But people
that's
flipping
old.
through channels are more likely to stop seeing Blake and Dirk out on a digital court than they would be just sitting at a desk, right?
Yeah.
Or something like this. Any sort of movement, anything to get them away from the desk.
Yeah, 100%.
You guys want to do
They're-
You guys want to do a walk and talk while we do this podcast? They just keep walking around the table. That'd be a great pick and payoff, actually. Just handheld mic, just keep walking around.
Oh, yeah.
with one of those attachments that it's like it's on your chest.
Oh, yeah,
and then
that'd be
it's,
great.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I like that shot. It's like the old Janet Jackson music video. Remember that?
Yeah.
I think is what you're saying.
Yeah,
Like, you
yeah.
know, like it's like that body camera that moves with
Yeah,
you.
exactly.
Yeah.
It stays on your face.
Or what
the whole
about
time.
the funny train guy that loves trains?
Oh, that shot.
That's
yeah,
the head one. Or his head's all like sort of fish-eyed.
Yeah, it's like a 360 cam. That'd be cool.
Okay, let's buy one of those.
Okay.
We'd have a lot of fun with that, I think.
100%.
All right, anything else from this game?
Just quickly, Asar Thompson's two-handed block that we talked about.
Yeah.
Dwayne Wade said, "Whoa, he's looking like Kenyon Martin used to do," and
I thought it was a great reference.
It was a good reference.
Yeah.
It was a nice bonding moment too with my wife who used to watch New Jersey Nets games
Right.
growing up, get into that arena. And she said, yeah, But Kenyon wouldn't knock it out of bounds the same way. Like he would at times.
Yeah.
And it was just a one-handed block. Now she was getting into the weeds. Like it was one-handed versus a two-handed block from Asar Thompson. You know, it was just a smacker. Actually, she didn't say that he wouldn't smack it out of bounds. I take that back. But it was more of a one-hand versus two-hand thing.
Agree. I feel like he had a two-handed one, though. That might be a highlight.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But anyways, it really
It's a
bonded
sick
us
block.
while we're watching basketball, or while I'm watching basketball every single night. It's just nice to have something to talk about, you know? So thank you to Asar Thompson for reminding us, because, we had, obviously, we talked about Jason Collins as well the other day, and that terrible, terrible news. And Danielle brought up how he used to do stuff on the basketball floor, and he was really loved, obviously, as a player. So
I'll tell you what.
We talk about the New Jersey Nets a lot.
I'll tell you what Collins was not doing. That type of block. God rest his soul, but he was not doing Asar Thompson like blocks or Kenyon Martin type blocks.
That did not come up then.
But that is nice. You're having a bonding moment with your wife here in the playoffs.
Yes. Hey, listen. As we all know, they don't like the playoffs all that much. In that, here we are. We're 30 days in.
Yeah.
I barely said any words to my wife except when Asar Thompson blocks a shot like Kenyon Martin. So the other 29 days, haven't talked to her once.
Damn.
Got another 30 days ahead, Danielle. It's going to be great.
Jesus, that can't be true.
Wow, there's days where there's no games, if you want to get technical. But
I guess
the finals aren't going to be done till mid-June.
Yeah, we got a month. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, who's winning Game 7? Just before we take a break. I know. I mean,
it's got to be the Pistons, I guess. But I was wrong coming into Game 6.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's as difficult to answer.
Sure.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? Who comes out of the gate? Obviously, I mean, we could have a rock fight. This could be an ugly, ugly Game 7.
It's a good way
in a
to
beautiful
put it.
way, is what I mean. It could be very low scoring. We've seen Game 7s like that.
They allow some physical play to happen.
Yes. So, I mean, I had the Pistons in 7, so of course I'm sticking with that. But if the Cavs win, no one will be all that shocked.
What's nice about this series, I start thinking about the physical play because it is pretty physical already. I don't think there's a lot of flops happening.
No.
There's not a lot of selling calls. What? And those are the ones that automatically get called, or generally automatically.
I think Harden's had his instances in some of the games.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
But for the most part, I agree. Yeah. All right, we're going to take a break, and then we'll talk a little Spurs-Wolves here. This show is brought to you by FanDuel. NBA fans, this is your reminder to check in daily. You know what? Check in with your friends daily. Check in with your mom, dad. Check in with No Dunks daily. And FanDuel. Why? Because every day during the playoffs, FanDuel is serving up a happy hour. We're talking special drops that you won't want to miss, from profit boosts to bonus bets and more. And the best part, it's every single day. Happy hour every day. So whether you're betting the Game 7 on Sunday night or gearing up for Thunder Spurs Western Conference Finals bets, make sure you open the FanDuel app and see what's waiting for you. Check for a new reward every single day of the NBA playoffs, and don't miss your shot to get a little extra out of the action. FanDuel, an official partner of the NBA.
Can't believe I was wrong. It's going to be over 45 minutes. No problem, Skeets. Don't listen to any of my predictions. Well, some of them are good.
I see that you're joking as I look at the time here.
No, it's going to be over.
What?
Because we're at 33 minutes, my man.
Okay.
So it's going to be over 45.
No, it's not. Okay. Anyway, do you see how long the thing I got to say in Whoa Boy here? This is going to take
Longer.
5 minutes.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, you're saying longer.
Yeah,
I thought you were trying to say the opposite.
No, I predicted it was going to be under 45. I felt like the show could be under 45.
Oh.
I thought we'd fly through some things. Didn't happen.
No, never does, because we have too much fun talking about basketball.
Yeah.
But this game should take a little less time to break down, because Stephon Castle had 32 points and 11 rebounds to highlight another dominant performance from the Spurs backcourt. As San Antonio crushed the Wolves by 30 on Friday night. So they finished their second round series in 6 games. Props to you and TK for correctly predicting this series. You guys had Spurs in 6. And this one was sort of clear from the jump test. I thought that the Wolves were in trouble. And Castle was a big reason why. I mean, he just came out and he was a catalyst for the Spurs' hot start. He had 14 points in the first quarter and just was dominant all game long.
Well, the Wolves tried to switch up their defense to start this game. They threw Randall on Victor Wembanyama and Rudy Gobert on Stephon Castle, who's giving him a lot of room out there. And Stephon Castle missed his first jumper. But that's how cool, comfortable, confident this super young Spurs team is. The next shot he took out from the three-point line and banged it.
Yeah.
And then his next three-pointer, banged it. Hit his first 5 threes in this game. For a guy coming into the playoffs, many people, myself included, thought, okay, maybe they're just going to give Stephon Castle a lot of room out there and see if he can hit threes. He is a guy who gets better in the postseason. In this series, 48% from three, 41% in the first series. So 44% overall shooting threes.
This guy's like a 30% three-point shooter in his young career, but he did get better as the season went on.
Yeah, he jumped to 33 in this regular season, but what a big jump up.
Yeah.
It's a little Andrew Nemhard-esque, or Dwayne Wade-esque, as we talked about.
Sure.
But they gave him lots of room,
Yeah.
and they got to this big deficit right from the get-go. I thought the miscommunication between Julius Randle, who's guarding Wemby, and whoever was bad. In the first 6 minutes, I just made notes of all the mistakes he made. The Wemby alley-oop on that cut, he just wasn't guarding him. And then Stephon Castle had a pick set for him. Randle didn't go guard in front of him at all. So Castle just walked to the hoop, and then another one. Randle wanted to switch as Castle got through. Shannon couldn't recover and won. That's too easy. So that miscommunication with Randle and the perimeter player didn't bode well. And then Anthony Edwards didn't start well. 2 bad turnovers where he wasn't being doubled to start.
No.
Just bad turnovers. So the double-digit deficit could not be overcome.
Yeah, and we were just witnessing unreal accuracy from the Spurs shooters, too. Castle and everybody. Their shooting splits were 56, 47, and 85 in an elimination game to put away the Wolves, who were at home. That's dominant here. Castle flexed his all-around skill set, 32 points, 11 boards, 6 assists, plus 28 in 30 minutes. According to Statitudes, Castle is just the second player in NBA postseason history to record at least 30 points, 10 boards, 5 assists in a closeout win at the age of 21 years or younger. Who is the other one? Magic Johnson. In Game 6 of the 1980 Finals. A pretty legendary performance.
Yes.
So those are the stats Castle just put up here.
I like how we get our stats from different places because my Stephon Castle stat was the youngest player in playoffs history to have 30-plus points, 10-plus rebounds, 5-plus assists, and 5-plus three-pointers made.
It's the threes that Magic definitely wasn't doing in Game 6 of the 80 Finals. But yeah.
Luka was the youngest one to have those numbers at 22. Well, Stephon Castle just 21 and a half.
Yeah, and people say he's not even the best guard on the Spurs team.
Dylan Harper.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but Dylan Harper's fine coming off the bench.
Oh, I know.
So it's a perfect combination.
He was awesome. For the third straight year here, the Timberwolves season ended with a blowout too. Don't love that part. 2 years ago, 21-point loss to the Mavericks in Game 5. Last season, that was in the Western Conference Finals. Last season in the Western Conference Finals, they lost to OKC by 30. And then here on Friday Night Tas, 30 points at the hand of the Spurs. What happens here at the end? I mean, I think Finch said they just ran out of bullets. They, of course, were injured in this series and shorthanded. No Dante DiVincenzo and Ant, obviously, with the knee issues. But still, it's pretty embarrassing that every year it ends like this. To the point where I know we'll get into what Anthony Edwards even did in this game while the game was going on. That a lot of people have opinions on. But the actual just getting waxed at the end of a season, is that...
Yeah.
Like, what does that say to you about this team and an Anthony Edwards-led team or a Chris Finch-led team?
I lean more towards the Victor Wembanyama factor in this particular series. I don't think it's a negative that they got blown out now 3 seasons in a row.
Right, in the final game.
To finish their season. I definitely made that note. I was thinking, whoa, what a blowout. At home. Especially. But I don't want to be recency biased here. Look at the last 2 years and how they respond. They got to the conference finals twice, and here they are able to overcome the Nuggets and get to play Wemby. So I think it's a Wemby factor, really, is what it comes down to. I think the Victor Wembanyama and this new era of trying to adapt and fix your offense to try and get around this guy. That's the only times they were good in this series, when they were able to get around him, pull him out, and score in the paint. Because of that, and also just hit some threes. If you look at it, the the Wolves tried to pull Rudy off the floor in this game more. He only played 21 minutes while Naz Reid played 31 minutes. And in the first game, when they pulled Rudy in the fourth quarter, that's when they won their game. The only other game that they won, that was when Victor Wembanyama wasn't on the floor, essentially. So you look at the numbers, and I think that's where the Wolves have to think about what their future is.
Sure.
Because Naz Reid, I know he's coming off the bench, but I think it's a factor here. Against Wemby, minus 36 in this series, while Rudy Gobert was minus 59. There's a big difference there if you look at those numbers. But also at your Jaden McDaniels, only 15 points per game after the way he finished round one against the Denver Nuggets, that monstrous 30-point game. You see, you have to pull Victor Wembanyama as far away from the basket as possible to have guys like Jaden McDaniels produce at the rim, and also guys being able to shoot the ball from three. So this is just a different world here with Victor Wembanyama on a basketball floor. I think that's what I got from the way the Wolves
for them,
couldn't.
he's not going anywhere.
No, I know.
Yeah, it feels like Tim Connolly successfully built the Wolves to beat the Nuggets.
Yeah.
They figured out that. They figured out how to beat Jokic and the Nuggets.
Yeah, Rudy
They've
was
had
good.
success there. It's all these other teams in the Thunder, who are the defending champs. Now
Right.
the Spurs on the rise. I mean, obviously, the Mavericks lost too. It's the other teams that you need to adapt for and obviously figure out. And like, good luck. And I don't know what they do with Julius Randle. He had 3 points last night. 1 of 8 shooting in the series, 34% from the field, 4 of 21 from deep. You talk about trying to stretch the floor and pull out Wemby. He couldn't hit a shot. A combined plus minus of minus 84 for the series for Julius Randle. And it looked just as bad on the television screen as it does in the box score. That's the thing. It like actually matches up for the most part of this series. And he played well last year in 2 series, but otherwise he's had 6 duds now in postseason series. He's had 2 good ones, I'd say. So 6 out of his 8 have been bad overall compared to what he does in the regular season.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a playoff dropper, unfortunately.
Yeah, there was definitely a Wemby factor in this one for Randall.
Yeah, of course.
Because he can't stop and pop either. You know, he has to try and go at Wemby if that's his thing, and you know, you see how that goes. Or fire away from 3. That didn't happen for him in this series.
So what do the Wolves do here?
Well, that's a
because
tough
they
one.
obviously have. It's pretty apparent that they're a tier down from these other elite teams. Do you try and trade Randall and put Naz Reid into the starting position spot? Do you try and trade Rudy Gobert and obviously pivot off of that? Sign Ayo DeSumo, sign more vets, hope McDaniels levels up. I mean, I don't where are you going here with this team?
Yeah, it's scary for them because their roster, their main guys who play are all signed up. Edwards, Gobert, Randall, McDaniels, Naz Reid. It just can't happen naturally. A lot of those guys are signed for 2 more years or 3 more years. So what do they do? Because this feels like you mentioned LeBron in the East and how guys weren't able to overcome that. It feels like Victor Wembanyama is part of 2 teams now.
Yeah.
It's them and the Thunder you have to overcome. So
that's why people are saying Minnesota's best hope is to pray for expansion to come quick, and that they're the team that's moved to the Eastern Conference. Because good luck with OKC and San Antonio on your side of the bracket.
Yeah. Immediately after, I start to think about Julius Randle as the guy that you would move on from.
Oh, I think they would in a heartbeat, but
they signed him to that extension. It's
our team's going to be lining up for Julius Randle.
33 next year, and then a $35 million player option the next year. So 2 years is not untradeable.
No,
no. But this is different for Tim Connolly, as you said, able to overcome the Nuggets. But now it's the Wemby factor. He's changed everything, just like LeBron changed it in the East for a long time. How are you going to overcome that? I think there's no other answer other than to pull him away from the basket as much as possible. That was the only way the Wolves won in this series, and it'll be way better for Chet Holmgren doing that in the conference final. Way better for the Thunder overall, and able to allow that room for Shea to drive and whoever. But man, anyway, I won't get into that series. But you start to think about that anyway.
Ant needs a running mate here, right? He needs another guy beside him, another star beside him. So are they aggressive again in trying to get Giannis and convince him to want to come out to the Western Conference? Jaylen Brown, obviously, if he's in trade rumors or if he isn't. Maybe it's even more of like a guard play, like a John Morant, Kyrie Irving, possibly. I mean, I'm just throwing names out here, like superstar level guys to pair with Ant. I mean, did you see Ant's post-game press conference?
I did not.
Okay. He's asked the classic, what do you got to do type thing to get over the hump. And he did that's not for me to decide. That's for them to decide, sort of like that's on the front office to figure out. Like he was frustrated. I mean, they just got waxed here. But I was reading into his body language, what he's saying. It's a little bit like, we can't do this again, I think is what he was really getting at here. We can't run this back again like this current construction with the bigs of Randall and Gobert. And then me as the lone guy here.
Yeah.
On the perimeter. And Dante would have helped for sure to obviously try and match the 3-point shooting of the Spurs a little bit. But yeah, big decisions because they're just not even, quite frankly, they're not close to that top tier. And you have Ant, again, banged up here, but entering his prime. Should be soon here. This will be the window with your best Ant, if healthy. So huge decisions. Let's talk about Ant congratulating the Spurs, though, with 8 minutes to go left in the game. This guy got up from the Wolves bench, dead ball situation, but walked down, and he dapped up every single coach and player on the Spurs. And then came back. And this has a lot of people going, what are you doing? Now, some people are like, great sportsmanship. What's the big deal? Other people, Udonis Haslem, Dirk, I saw after the game, and fans going, save that till the end of the game. Like, I know you're not coming back down 30 and you're not even back in the game, but like maybe cheer on your team, lead your team still as the game's going on. What's your opinion on him doing that?
Yeah, that's a clear signal that we're done. And we have to either make some big moves with the front office or you dudes beside me, you got to be better next year.
Oh,
I mean, you got no choice.
That's what he's sort of saying there. A little, showing respect to the Spurs, but in a weired way, disrupting some of his teammates who he thought maybe didn't show up for him.
Yeah, I think so for sure. Jaden McDaniels being a big one. I know that we've always focused on Julius Randle, and Jaden McDaniels kind of flies under the radar a little bit because he's really, really good defensively, and he did score some buckets.
He's just not consistent offensively.
Oh, he's bad though. He wasn't efficient in this series. He's got to score more. And Anthony Edwards constantly always says our X factor is that guy. And it's true. I mean, the way that he was able to finish out the Denver Nuggets 30 plus, if he's way better, then this is a different series. Yeah. Or Julius Randle could be speaking to the front office too, but you don't see that in NBA games. You don't.
Ant getting up.
That
and
early?
Going down? No. I mean, that's what Dirk was saying. He's like, they were like, I've been around basketball my entire life. I've never seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah. On one hand, I'm like, who cares? Like I am. I'm like, it doesn't matter. But then on the other hand, like what Haslam was saying is like, no, you're the leader of the team, and you are saying a whole lot by doing that. You are. So maybe that's your point. You feel you're showing a little disrespect to some of your guys. But I assume he doesn't feel that way about all his guys. So What about the young guys that are out there playing in this game, getting some reps, getting some opportunity? Maybe just cheer them on for those final 8 minutes and then do your thing. Where you do have obviously a lot of respect for Wemby and the Spurs, as you should. That's fine. No one's saying, oh, don't show sportsmanship. But
it's weird.
It just was weird.
Yeah.
It was weird. If he had just gone down in a strange way to me and just like dapped up Mitch Johnson, the head coach, and then maybe even Wemby or whatever, just leave it at that. I think, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. Would I still be rolling my eyes at it a little bit? Yeah, sure. That competitive nature, like where is it? Keep it for the rest of the game. But the fact that he just did it, every single guy was like, wow, he is, okay. Yeah, the towel is thrown in his mind. So why not get it out of the way now, I guess? Just strange. I mean, I'm fast to see what people think because I've seen both sides of the argument here where people are like, you are making a way bigger deal out of this than you need to be. Focus on Randall not showing up. Focus on what they got to do in the offseason. This isn't a story. When a lot of other people are like, no, that's bad. That's a bad look for a leader of a franchise.
Yeah, it's definitely, to me, it's about who they are going forward. Yeah, there's a bit of a call out. Whether it's front office, we got to do something, or players, we got to be better. But you look at some of these players, and I do want to point out how good Naz Reid was in this series. He really, really was. He nearly hit one of every 2 threes he took. 45.5% from 3. He was awesome. And, I'm trying to draw up in my head, how the heck do you pull Wemby out? Is it more Naz Reid at the 5? I don't think it's getting rid of Rudy Gobert because he's so important defensively. But there's got to be a different mix-up of their top 3. Jaden McDaniels aside, because he is so good defensively, you can keep him there. But the 3 of Gobert, Randall, and Reed, it's probably Randall who's got to bite it, and ideally for them to move on from him because the other guys are capable. And Naz, you don't want to be playing at the 5 a ton. And he played beside Rudy Gobert at times in this series because he's smaller. So he's just so capable offensively in a different way that Randall is.
And the biggest thing, and it was refreshing to hear Ant get asked about this and agree with it in his post-game press conference, was like, you build championship habits during the regular season. We have to stop pretending like that doesn't matter. And this idea of flipping a switch and like, we'll make these Western Conference runs and we'll play better in the postseason. Like, that's cool. You can do that, but you can't skip like the work here to obviously win the whole thing. And he even said like, it's through the entire regular season building these good habits. And
that's going to be tough. That's going to be tough to change from a team that does it every single year.
I know. And so is that a coach switch up? Is that, I mean, he's not going anywhere, you wouldn't think.
Is he calling out Chris Finch and Mike Inori and Pablo Prigioni?
I don't know. So at least he addressed it. He agreed with it.
That would be a totally different team if they were able to do that. But that's true. That's true. And maybe he was listening as much as I mock how much Michael Jordan contributed to those NBC interviews this season. Maybe he was listening to Michael Jordan, who was basically saying every game matters. He was more talking about load management, but you can interpret that as every practice, every game matters.
That's what you're saying. Yep.
Yeah. So,
but I'll tell you, who
Anthony
would
Edwards
not have been getting up with 8 minutes left in a game to go shake the hands of the other team.
Yeah. I was shocked.
Nor would Kevin Garnett, nor would even Haslam was saying even Wemby would not do something like that. They were just getting into this, like, you got to sort of stay locked in there as the competitive dog. And it's the message you are unfortunately sending to the rest of your teammates. You are saying, I'm sort of quitting on you.
Yeah. When you saw Dirk say that he's never seen that in his career, was he sitting at the desk or was he standing?
They were sitting.
They
were sitting.
They do the stand pregame. Anyways, it's funny. They're just standing there. They're not even walking.
They shared their opinion on it. I mean,
it's good. Yeah. No, those guys are very, very good.
Anything else? Let's if you got some random notes.
Of course, got some.
All
random
right,
notes.
let's do random notes again.
Random.
I'll start us off. I don't know what Wemby was holding during one break in play. He was holding very close to his nipple for a long time, and I'm just curious. If somebody can ask him, because it was a break in play. He wasn't really involved in the play. He was out at the 3-point line. There's a foul, and then there's a break in play, and he's just holding right by his nipple.
He's
and I'm
holding
just
his
curious.
jersey?
Jersey, but deeper than the jersey. So, and it was like a 6-second. I'm sorry, JD, I didn't grab the clip, but like start to finish, like holding it there, like more of a grab, like a jostle. So yeah, just curious. I think our man Jared Weiss can ask him about that, because did you see the Jared Weiss article on Tim Duncan and his relationship with Greg Popovich and how he's there to be with Greg Popovich?
Right.
Great article.
Yep.
Another article I think Jared Weiss can write is about the knee pads I've talked about before here in the playoffs. But Wemby even adjusts his knee pads after play. So in this particular game, it looked like it's split. Like there's a seam stitched in between the middle of the knee pad. So you see like a chunk on the left and a chunk on the right.
See, yeah.
Got to know more.
So it's more protecting the sides of his knees is what you're saying.
Both, yes. And also I think because you have that seam right up the middle, they're not connected, so they don't move up and down as much because there's just that stitching.
Okay.
This is getting really technical, but Jared Weiss, we need more on it because some guys, I think Asar Thompsons are like, they're different. Caruso's are different. We should know more.
We could have a whole article on knee pads for sure.
Yeah.
We barely even talked about Wemby.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive from the Spurs that we didn't have to. He didn't have, he had a quiet game. Didn't really need to do a whole lot.
Yeah.
Defensively, of course, a menace, but didn't have to do a lot on the other end. The way the guards have played for this Spurs team.
Yeah, they were so good.
Yeah.
That's the scary thing.
Everybody was hitting threes, yeah.
They were, yeah. But, Dylan Harper, who some, think that he's their best guard. I mean, he came out and was able to just push the ball immediately as soon as he started playing. And that's maybe kudos to Manu Ginobili or guys who are able to coach him into his role. Sure. But also kudos just to the Spurs able to say, we need to push it every single time. And that just is, I start thinking about the conference finals. That's how they bode well against the Thunder. How many guards they just have. In their 4 wins against the Spurs, against the Thunder, it was just push, 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 push. And it worked.
Can't wait. Can't wait for the Western Conference Finals. We will preview and predict that on Monday's show because that doesn't tip till Monday night.
One random note from post-game press conference. I didn't watch Anthony Edwards, but I watched Wemby.
Okay.
Did you see Wemby?
No, I didn't. No.
So he's holding a mic. And
he's doing the Jokic.
Yeah.
That was a classic Jokic. Maybe Dirk used to do that too.
Yeah,
they would take it out.
Yeah, he would. Yeah.
They wanted to lean back half the time.
Yeah,
anyway.
Knock over the Gatorade bottles in Dirk's case. But he was holding the mic, and the mic stick was so small. Like his hands were too big.
Right.
So his 2 fingers were over the mic flash.
Oh, wow.
They were covering the mic flash. Like that's how big his hands were. Yep. So it was an NBA app mic flash.
Oh.
So I do think their mics are a little bit smaller too. So there's that could be a part of it. But man, he's literally like he's covering that thing like he's holding a cigar or something. Like those 2 fingers were so big.
It's like
that's all I got.
A normal sized mic in Wemby's hands looks like one of those like novelty sized tiny mics that people use on the street for social media clips. It's just a normal mic though in his hands.
Yeah. I bought one of those like super, super tiny ones.
Oh yeah.
From Urban Outfitters, mainly because my daughter was like, well, this is so cool. And she loved it. So we bought it.
Does it work?
No, it doesn't do nothing.
Oh.
Hold on.
Wait, is it a real mic or just
hold on? I'm trying to remember if because I did that one short.
You have
I did about NBA dads, so I had it there, but I don't know if it recorded or not. I think it does, but maybe it didn't work all that well. Either way, it's funny.
Okay,
it is funny to look at that. Like it's the teeniest of tiniest.
Oh yeah.
That's it.
That's all your random notes?
I'm all
knee pads and tiny mics. I love it.
I'm noted out.
And again, we'll talk Thunder Spurs Western Conference Finals preview on Monday's show. I was about to say tomorrow, but no. We're taking tomorrow off.
Yes.
We'll have to rest all day as we get excited for Game 7 between the Pistons and Cavs. Little boy of the night, sponsored by Lake Break on Whatnot. It's from Jesse sponsoring Whoa Boy. He writes in, a while back, No Dunks covered Chris Bosch's medical scare, and his message really stuck with me. Life is too short. Do the things you love. I took that to heart. I left my 9-to-5, and I started my own card-breaking business on Whatnot. My store is called Lake Break, and it's been one of the best decisions I've made. I'm grateful to spend more time with my kids and build something I'm passionate about without stressing over PTO and rigid schedules and all that. My journey in the hobby is just getting started, and I'd love to invite you all to be a part of it. So Jesse's going to be live today, Saturday, May 16th at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, for a Bowman University Best case break on Whatnot. So opening cards that I believe you can bid on and stuff like that on Whatnot if you want to. And Jesse writes, even if you're not planning on buying anything, feel free to stop by. It would be a great to hang out and chat with the community. And if you don't already have a Whatnot account, we're going to have the link in the show notes. Gets you $15 credit to use however you'd like. We'll have a link to the show on Saturday there as well. So thank you, Jesse.
Yeah, the notes are already in the chat.
There we go.
I'm laughing at a stream team comment saying, life is too short. Don't argue in the chat. Anyway.
People are arguing in the chat?
I guess.
About Anthony Edwards, maybe? Anyway, Jesse, thank you for sponsoring Whoa Boy, and good luck, and way to follow your heart there.
Absolutely.
Hope you have a blast there on Whatnot with Lake Break. Okay, Castle gets Whoa Boy, 32 points, game high, 11 of 16 from the field, 5 of 7 from deep, 5 of 6 at the line. Game high 11 rebounds, 6 assists. And because he didn't have a blocker or steal, look what I threw up there. I threw up a plus minus for you. Plus 28, this guy, in 30 minutes. Castle.
No blocker steal, huh?
No, I know. It was sort of strange.
Yeah, 5
sort of
threes.
just fall into a steal usually when you're a guard like that. But nope. Great game. Guy's amazing. And now he gets to see how he does against the Thunder guards on the other side. That's going to be a little different, no doubt. Can't wait. Thanks for joining us, though, here today on a Saturday. It's great to be here in the Classic Factory. Thanks for opening up the factory, JD, so we can hit him with another classic.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Yeah. We will be back.
I needed more people in the house.
Yeah, you got a packed house right now.
Yeah.
You got friends from Mexico here. You've got your mother-in-law. You said your parents are arriving soon.
Parents are arriving. They're not staying here.
Oh,
and my brother's arriving with his wife and my nephew.
Because we got a big graduation for Jackson
That's right.
on Monday.
Monday morning.
Okay.
I won't be here.
Oh, yeah, you won't be here. That's right. Ash will be here.
Ash is filling in.
Nice. Okay. Well, good luck with the graduation. I hope it doesn't take 8 hours.
They run a pretty tight ship usually, but and it's at 9 a.m.
Whoa, wow.
Yeah.
Are you going out for brunch after to celebrate? Or what
I
do you
think we're
do?
going to fire up the grill out here.
Ooh.
So,
Maybe I'll stick around after the show on
Please do.
Monday morning.
Please do.
Celebrate young Jackson. All right, well, good luck with that. Ash will be here. Trey will be back from Chattanooga. We'll be talking about Game 7, Pistons, Cavs. Looking ahead, as I said, to Thunder Spurs. Is it the Western Conference Finals or is it the actual finals? Oh, Knicks fans ain't going to be happy with that. And then, of course, later in the week, we'll start previewing whoever wins that Game 7 on Sunday night against the Knicks. We're down 4 almost, baby.
Yep.
How many games left, Tass? Do the math real quick. How many possible games left?
21.
Oh, Jesus.
21 plus
I guess
1.
22. Yeah, right. Wow. That's it.
It's just it's weird, you know? It feels like we're halfway through, but at 21-22, that's like a quarter of the games. You want to get into the nitty-gritty.
Yeah. We're like 3/4 of the way through in a weird way.
Yep.
But we'll keep talking about it and all the NBA news till Monday. Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us. And remember, 10 toes in when you're standing on business.
10 toes in?
Yeah.
I thought it was 10 toes down.
Yeah, but there's a rap line that they use during the broadcast.
Oh, okay.
So I had to include it from who performs that song? I believe it's
Pastor Troy.
Big Dogs
That was a
featuring Call Me. No, it's no Pastor or no Lil Troy. It's a newer song.
Okay.
2024.
Have you listened to
by
any
the
Drake yet?
Big Dogs. No, I have not.
Oh, you got 43 songs to listen to.
43.
Yeah. Three albums.
Okay.
Okay,
They
good
good?
luck- good
Were
luck
they
with
good?
I'm making
Hold on,
my
he
way
took-
through them as well.
He took a photo with Wemby.
That's old.
Oh,
I think that's
it
old.
looked weird.
Yeah. I've seen that
Okay.
photo before.
Okay.
Wemby looked younger, I thought.
Yeah, he did.
So good luck with Drake
Thank you.
listening party. And,
Yeah, I can't wait.
we'll see you guys on Monday. Embrace the weekend, people.